Come see us do stand-up in Baltimore, Hartford, Syracuse, Atlantic City, Levittown, New York, Cohoes, New York, Providence, Rhode Island, and San Jose, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for the tickets. Zelensky had his meeting, and he said that we're far, far away from having an end to this Ukraine war, and that you can't negotiate with Putin because he breaks every agreement he ever made, even though that's not true either. And now, this is March 4th, Zelensky ready to work under Trump's strong leadership after regrettable showdown. So now he's, Mr. Mr. Blow Monkey needs another cookie. And I think that's his Secret Service code name, Blow Monkey. And okay. Repeat, Blow Monkey needs another cookie. And so now this is the tune he's speaking now after this happened to him.
Country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No.
Can
You've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning.
I know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this cabinet.
We gave you, through
I
this
said
stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
What about West?
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me.
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
Now, I don't always get hard from watching a video, but when I do, it's this video. And so Zelensky leaves White House without signing the minerals deal after the Oval Office blow up. So this was, by the way, that was all orchestrated. That was all planned ahead of time, in case you don't know that. He went and he had a meeting with Democratic leaders before he went into this meeting. He got bad coaching. And then Trump said this after that.
Everybody has to get into a room, so to speak, and we have to make a deal. And the deal can be made very fast. It should not be that hard a deal to make. It could be made very fast. Now, maybe somebody doesn't want to make a deal. And if somebody doesn't want to make a deal, I think that person won't be around very long. That person will not be listened to very long. Because I believe that Russia wants to make a deal. I believe certainly the people of Ukraine want to make a deal. They've suffered more than anybody else.
So here's a very Corleone way of putting things. I'm just saying, who do you not want to be right now? You don't want to be a horse that belongs to Zelensky. That's what I'm saying.
That's absolutely true.
And so after that, now here it is. He's ready. I'm sorry. I acted like that. I promise I won't do it again. Let's work together. And so this is from the BBC. Overnight, it was announced that the U.S. President Trump suspended deliveries of military aid, so he cut him off. What followed was a barrage of reaction from Ukraine and its allies, Russia and the United States. 4 hours afterwards, however, the key players stayed quiet. Ukraine's President Zelensky and U.S. Donald Trump were up and active, but both steered clear of mentioning the pause. Then mid-afternoon, Zelensky shared a lengthy statement in which he expressed a willingness to consider a partial truce if Russia agreed to do the same. He also thanked Trump personally for his support for Ukraine and said their fiery meeting in the Oval Office was regrettable. It's time to make things right. Let's make things right. Now he sounds like Al Pacino in Scarface. Let's make this right. Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than Ukrainians. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts, the president. We are ready to work fast and to end the war. Wow. As our North American correspondent Tom Bateman puts it, the key question now is whether Zelensky's statement will be enough. And so just to give you the rundown, Clandestine did a great rundown. He said Friday, Zelensky throws a fit, refuses to sign the minerals deal at the White House. Saturday and Sunday, Zelensky runs off to London to beg for money from Europe that they don't have to give. They gave him $2 billion. That's nothing. I mean, if the $300 billion we gave them hasn't done anything, they're losing to that $2 billion is not good. They're just going to take that and buy some more vineyards in France and Italy with it. They give him a minuscule amount of funds and tell him to go beg Trump for forgiveness. On Monday, Trump says that if Zelensky does not come to the table ready for peace, then he will not be around very long. Hours later, Trump cuts off all the weapons sales, aid, funding, stockpiles, etc., until Zelensky is committed to a ceasefire and a peace deal. Today, Zelensky is ready to commit to a peace deal first thing this morning. You just witnessed the art of the deal play out in real time. Trump is holding all the cards and forced Zelensky to submit. Zelensky was trying to play games and keep this war going, so Trump dropped the hammer on him. Trump essentially told Zelensky, you either work with me on stopping this war or we will let Putin kill you. So that's we should check and see if he has all 10 fingers. That's all I'm saying. So what do you make of Zelensky's turnaround?
Well, it was clearly, as you say, it was clearly orchestrated. Not only did he meet with people like Chris Murphy before he went in, but I think even more conspicuously, the instant that meeting was over, there were prepared statements from almost every European leader pledging support for as long as it takes to stay with Ukraine in the war. So those statements had to have been prepared. They couldn't have been. You wouldn't compose on the spot a statement contravening American foreign policy, and then just sort of tweet it out. So this was a planned thing, and as that clandestine notes, he ran off to England. He jumped in the lap of Keir Starmer, and Starmer promised him that he would stay with him until the end, and then gave him $2 billion, which, as you say, wasn't enough. So I think he was probably playing out the string to see how much he could get out of the Europeans, and it turned out to be not that much. The Europeans were very happy to see this thing take place because they wanted to see Trump showing up a little bit. But in the end, America doesn't have anything to gain or lose in this situation. All Trump was saying is, okay, if you're not going to do what we want, we're out, and you're on your own, and see how you like that. Well, he didn't like it for more than 10 minutes, it appears, right? So he either takes a deal that he considers insufficient, or he's going to be overrun. And logically, and this is what's so crazy about this time period, is that people have been trained not to think in terms of what's logical about all this. He has to make a deal. It's in everybody's interests. Everybody wins from a deal being made. And not only that, we all knew what the parameters would be of this deal 3 years ago.
When it started, at this show, I said this war is going to end however Russia wants it to end. But that's how it's going to end. And it's just amazing that I knew that, and because Zelensky didn't, and everybody in Europe didn't know that. But maybe they did.
Well, no, but Jimmy, don't you think that's... I think that's fascinating, right? Because common sense, and you're absolutely right. It was clear to everybody how this was going to play out from the start. Now, some of us, including me, didn't see the invasion coming. I thought that was a little bit of a surprise. But once it did come, there was no way that this was going to end that didn't involve Ukraine losing some territory, and then eventually having to sue for peace that it wasn't going to like. The Russians were not going to give up. There's other things that happen in the interim that Russia wants to extract a little bit of a pound of flesh for. Everything from the Maidan Revolution to the Orange Revolution to things that took place in the Donbass. They wanted to see Ukraine punished for some things, and they don't mind losing a few soldiers to make that happen. So this was always going to be the end game. They were always going to lose those two provinces, and you could have guessed that this was the general end. And people like Mearsheimer did years ago. And now it's going to end that way, and everyone's going to say that it's like a tragedy.
We're here with Matt Taibbi, former Russia resident and athletic wear enthusiast, who also is the co-host of America This Week podcast, and of course his great Substack, Racket News. Hey, some coffee's weak. Some coffee is sad. But 1775 coffee, it's bold, it's strong. It's America's first in every single cup. The dark roast hits harder than a Trump landslide. The medium roast, smooth, no bitterness, just like life was before 2020. And the Vitality Mushroom Blend fuels your brain like a debate night victory. Small farm, small batches, roasted fresh in Miami every week. You'll taste the difference. Only the best makes it into your cup. Whole bean, ground, pods, they've got it all. Go to 1775coffee.com. Use code DORE for 15% off and start your morning with coffee that stands for something. Come see us do stand-up in Baltimore, Hartford, Syracuse, Atlantic City, Levittown, New York, Cohoes, New York, Providence, Rhode Island, and San Jose, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for the tickets.